something that got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to, so if you want to make an announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Yeah, illegal. Only illegals. What else?
All right, President Trump commenting on something that a lot of people have been discussing as of late. He said that he might do some declassifying. Well, guess what we just got into the newsroom? President Trump sending this out on social media moments ago, saying, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, and unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and any and all information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America, he says. The president's putting this out, and the question being asked to Trump in light of some remarks by former President Obama. Obama being asked on an interview earlier this week about whether or not there were, in fact, extraterrestrial life. There was extraterrestrial life at Area 51. Obama saying that while he was president, he never saw anything there at that base specifically, at least while he was in office.
Okay, so the president is saying that he's going to direct the Pentagon, and he has already, and other government agencies to start releasing the government records related to alien life and UAPs. And it comes after former President Obama's comments about aliens sparked worldwide interest. Government transparency on UFOs has been growing in recent years, and lawmakers are pushing for increased reporting requirements. For more, let's bring in House Intelligence Committee member, Texas Congressman Dan Crenshaw. Congressman, great to have you. Before I get into the files that the president wants to release, I want to play the soundbite just for our audience about what Barack Obama said and what sort of like started this firestorm. Let's listen here.
Sure.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Okay, so the president says he really revealed classified information. What part of that do you think is classified? Is it the part that he's talking about Area 51?
You'd have to ask the White House on that one. I don't think that there. I mean, I can say I've visited Area 51 as well. You know, and I don't want to disappoint anybody, but I have the same answer. Again, if they're hiding something there, they're doing it really, really well, and it's just not what the area is used for.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is going to come out of these files? So he's releasing all of these files, and my first question was, okay, but like, isn't all the juice in the classified stuff? The classified files is what we really want to see.
Well, and that's probably what he's talking about, is probably declassifying. Look, there's an unclassified version that everybody has seen, and you know, it's somewhat disappointing. Look, I'm on the Intelligence Committee, so I do have access to the classified version. I will say it's more detailed, but it's equally disappointing in this. You know, what makes it classified is likely the methods by which we have collected some of this evidence. And look, there's plenty of evidence of this anomalous behavior that we cannot explain. I mean, we just can't explain it. We've all seen the videos. We've seen the Tic Tac video. You know, this is all recorded on a number of sensors that are highly verified. It doesn't mean we know what it is, and I think that's what it's disappointing to everybody, right? It's disappointing to me. I want to know, and because the attributes of some of these, you know, whatever it's these crafts, I mean, they defy the laws of physics, and so that's where you get into the sci-fi theories about gravity manipulation, the ability of some kind of engine that can manipulate gravity, and accelerate it at speeds that would kill somebody normally, but because it cloaks itself in some sort of gravitational bubble that it actually doesn't kill the. I mean, this is all sci-fi.
So I know it
We can't prove any of it.
sounds insane. I mean, it really does, as you're saying it, but it's reality. I mean, this is what our Air Force pilots are seeing out there. So where are you on the spectrum here? Because I feel like more and more lawmakers are starting to, go from, well, this might be technology we have that the government's hiding.
Shalom. Welcome to another video. And as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakhwadash. And next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear it, whether they forbear. This is going to be a reaction to a couple of news clippings that I put in the introduction of this video. And it's mainly speaking on the topic of President Donald Trump announcing that he is directing the Pentagon to release classified documents and files pertaining to aliens, so-called UFOs, so-called UAPs, etc. All right, and I wanted to use this as an opportunity to speak on these things from a biblical perspective, because these things are spoken of in the Bible. In the Bible, so-called aliens are really just the angels. So-called UFOs or UAPs are the vehicles of the angels. All right, so once again, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to bring out some edification on this topic from a biblical perspective. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. And Yahweh Rechazah, meaning Heavenly Father's will, it's edifying to the elect. All right, so to start off, I've got pulled up the definition of the word alien. All right, and it says here, belonging to a foreign country or nation. Okay, noun, a foreigner who is not naturalized, not a naturalized citizen of the country where they are living. All right, that is one definition, but the majority of the time when that word alien is used in this context, is used to mean something that is extraterrestrial, meaning that it is outside of this earth, okay, of this terrain. So pretty much something that comes from what they call outer space. All right, the scriptures talk about it as the third heaven. All right, but okay, once again, there is beings that are extraterrestrial, okay, so-called aliens, all right, that do not belong to this earth, and really they're just the angels spoken of in the scriptures. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and go to Ezekiel, the first chapter. I've already got it pulled up. I'm going to read it in the New Living Translation. And this is one of the most vivid descriptions of so-called aliens, which once again are really just angels in the Bible. And we're going to read in the New Living Translation to make it a little bit easier to understand. All right, so Ezekiel 1:1, all right, in the NLT. Okay, on the 7th month, 31st year, while I was with the Judean exiles beside the Kabar River in Babylon, the heavens were open and I saw visions of power. This happened during the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity. It says Yahweh gave this message to Ezekiel, son of Buzi, a priest, beside the Kabar River to the land of the Babylonians, and he felt the hand of Yahweh take hold of him. As I looked, I saw a great storm coming from the north, driving before it a huge cloud that flashed with lightning and shone with a brilliant light. And there was fire inside the cloud, and in the middle of the fire, something glowing like gleaming amber. Okay, and a lot of people have reported, to see a lot of times you see the UFO, so-called UFOs will disguise themselves as clouds. It's actually one of the prophetic code words for the so-called UFOs is clouds. Okay, and a lot of times you'll see, I have a picture, matter of fact, if I can find it, I'll add it in to this video. But a lot of times you'll see, clouds that are shaped in that circular, a lot of times those are so-called UFOs actually. Okay, they're really the vehicles of the angels. They disguise themselves as clouds, and you'll see the lightning around them. But sometimes they make themselves known and they'll shine in different colors. Different brothers have seen them shine in purple, orange, green, red, yellow, all right, et cetera, et cetera. But Verse 5, it says, from the center of the cloud came 4 living beings that looked human, except that each had 4 faces and 4 wings. Verse 7, their legs were straight, and their feet had hooves like those of a calf, and they shone like burnished bronze. Okay, so that their feet were straight, and their feet like hooves. Their legs were straight, and their feet like hooves. So, I imagine that they had on boots of some type. All right, and it says that they shone like burnished bronze, the same way that the Messiah is described. Okay, so these are dark-skinned, entities. Okay, they look like people. All right, they have faces like humans, but they come in the form of so-called black or brown people. All right, it says, under each of the 4 wings I could see human hands. So each of the 4 beings had 4 faces and 4 wings. The wings of each living being touched the wings of the beings beside it. Each one moved straight forward in any direction without turning around. Each had a human face in the front, the face of a lion on the right side, the face of an ox on the left side, and the face of an eagle at the back. Each had 2 pairs of outstretched wings. One pair stretched out to touch the wings of the living beings on either side of it, and the other pair covered its body. They went in whatever direction the Spirit chose, and they moved straight forward in any direction without turning around. The living beings looked like bright coals of fire or brilliant torches, and lightning seemed to flash back and forth among them. Okay, so this is once again, a description, and obviously, these are not human. Okay, they have faces, and also you have different examples of angels, appearing to the prophets, appearing to different men in the scriptures, and the angels always have a very fierce countenance and are very scary most of the time. The men that they appear to would be in great fear. All right, but this is them, in their true form, okay, without disguising themselves, because they're able to shapeshift. All right, like I said, they're able to come and look like humans. You have examples of that in the scriptures. It says, verse 14, and the living beings darted to and fro like flashes of lightning. So they can move very fast. They move in strange patterns. Okay, when you see so-called UFOs, a lot of times, okay, they'll move in a flight pattern that a plane or a jet or helicopter would not be able to move in. That's how you know. It says, verse 15, as I looked at these beings, I saw 4 wheels touching the ground beside them, 1 wheel belonging to each. The wheels sparkled as if made of beryl. All 4 wheels looked alike and were made the same. Each wheel had a second wheel turning crosswise within it. The beings could move in any of the 4 directions they faced without turning as they moved. Okay, once again, unusual, flight patterns that a plane or a jet, a helicopter would not be able to perform. The rims of the 4 wheels were tall and frightening. They were covered with eyes all around. When the living beings moved, the wheels moved with them. When they flew upward, the wheels went up too. The spirit of the living beings was in the wheels, so wherever the spirit went, the wheels and the living beings also went. When the beings moved, the wheels moved, and when the beings stopped, the wheels stopped. When the beings flew upward, the wheels rose up, for the spirit of the living beings was in the wheels. All right, so it's just giving you, once again, it's giving you a description of what Ezekiel saw. Okay, and what he's really seeing is, the angels. All right, he's seeing them in their actual form, and then, also he saw them in their chariots. Okay, that's what the Bible calls them. That's one of the main prophetic code words for the vehicles of the angels, is the chariots of Israel. All right, verse 22. Spread out above them was a surface like the sky, glittering like crystal. Beneath this surface, the wings of each living being stretched out to the other's wings, and each had 2 wings covering its body. As they flew, their wings sounded to me like waves crashing against the shore, or like the voice of the Almighty, or like the shouting of a mighty army. When they stopped, they let down their wings. As they stood with wings lowered, a voice spoke from beyond the crystal surface above them. Above this surface was something that looked like a throne made of blue lapis lazuli, and on this throne high above was a figure whose appearance resembled a man, and this is the Heavenly Father. Okay, so what he's seeing pretty much, okay, the angels. All right, he's seeing the angels, all right, underneath the throne of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, and he's seeing the figure of a man, all right, of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. It says, from what appeared to be his waist up, he looked like gleaming amber, flickering like a fire, and from his waist down he looked like a burning flame, shining with splendor. All around him was a glowing halo, like a rainbow, shining in the clouds on a rainy day. This is what the glory of Yahweh looked like to me. When I saw it, I fell face down on the ground, and I heard someone's voice speaking to me. All right. And you had Prophet Daniel, he saw this, okay, in Daniel, the 7th chapter. All right. And also you have John the Revelator saw it, okay, in Revelation chapter 6, if I'm not mistaken, Revelation chapter 4, excuse me. Okay, Revelation the 4th chapter. All right, so you had different prophets that reported, similar things, okay, with, the Heavenly Father's throne and the angels that surround it, okay. Now, let's go on and move on we'll go to the book of Zechariah. All right, Zechariah chapter 6. And here, Zechariah had a vision of these so-called UFOs, UAPs, all right. And we'll read this in the King James Version. I'm going to read verses 1 through 7. And you see it's entitled The Four Chariots. Zechariah 6:1. And I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains. And the mountains were mountains of brass. Now, this right here, okay, these are not literal mountains. Obviously, mountains are not made of metal. Okay, these are larger chariots or larger ships, if you want to call them that. All right, and this is 4. You're going to see 4 smaller chariots, smaller ships fly in between the 2. This is what he's describing here. It says, in the first chariot were red horses, and in the second chariot black horses, and in the third chariot white horses, and in the fourth chariot grizzled and bay horses. Then I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, what are these, my Lord? And the angel answered and said unto me, these are the 4 spirits of the heavens, which go forth from standing before the Atawan of all the earth. Okay, so he's seeing, okay, he's seeing the angels are in their vessels, in their flying vessels, okay, so-called UFOs, all right, which are prophetically, okay, called, they have different names, chariots, all right, clouds, mountains, okay, sometimes you see that one, like in this example, all right. 2 Ezra 13 tells you that Yahweh Shai graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. So he's going to be coming in flying on one of these gigantic ships, so to speak. All right, let's get another example. We'll go to 2 Kings, the 6th chapter. All right, and here, okay, you have Elijah, which is like Elisha. Okay, he gets surrounded by the Syrian army, and the angels come in and step in and blind the Syrian army. We're not going to read that whole account, but we're just going to go straight to the point. Okay, we'll go straight to the point, starting off at verse 15. All right, 2 Kings 6:15, it says, and when the servant of the man of the Most High, Yahweh, was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? So, okay, this is the Syrian army surrounding Elisha, all right, and getting ready to try to capture him. Okay, now, this is what he said. And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Okay, so all right, the vehicles of the angels were there, and what does this show you? It shows you that they disguise themselves, okay, to where they're around you and you can't even see them. Okay, so that's comforting, actually. Okay, the Heavenly Father, he has his angels always protecting us. That's Psalms 34:7. Brother, put that on the comment board. Okay, the angels encamp round about them that fear him, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. All right, so the same angels, okay, the same ones that delivered Elisha from the hand of the Syrians here are going to be the same ones that deliver the elect in the times that we're coming into. Okay, and we'll go ahead and close it out with this. The book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 5. As birds flying, because he's going to come in from the air. All right, it's going to be an aerial assault. Thousands and thousands and thousands of angels, of troops of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai invading this realm to take down Esau and to deliver his elect. As birds flying, so will Yahweh, power of hosts, defend Jerusalem. All right, people will force a place. It's the Israelites. Okay, the so-called Negroes and indigenous. All right, and of course those who may look like other nations, but your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It says, defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Okay, and once again, he's likened unto birds flying. He's going to protect us as you know, as a bird comes in with its troops, you could say. All right. So he's going to come in from the skies to defend Jerusalem, to deliver his elect, and to take down Esau, Edom. All right. So this is once again just a short, you know, video. Okay, bringing out some edification on so-called UFOs, which is unidentified flying objects, or UAPs. Okay, which stands for unidentified aerial phenomenon. Okay, because this is technology that the United States government and the governments of the world don't have. Okay, that they don't have any idea how it works, but we know, according to the Bible, exactly what these things are. All right, these are really our brethren, okay, the angels and their flying vessels that they're going to use to deliver the elect and to take down the wicked of this earth. All right, so that's pretty much it for the video. Okay, Yahweh Rechazah, in Heavenly Father's will. It was edifying. With that being said, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachwadash. And until next time, Shalom wa Abad Babal.